seated. All right, so just taking a moment to settle into your seat. And just come to the breath for a moment. Just feel into the body. Notice how the legs feel. So not only the muscles and the joints, but the prana through the legs, just getting a sense of the sensation of the legs. And into the hips, out of the hip joints, the back of the hips, the hip points at the front. How does it all feel? The SI joint area. The belly, the low back, the rib cage, the shoulder blades, the upper back, chest and shoulders, arms, hands, neck, scalp, face, including your jaw. Feel the rhythm of the breath. And just for today, girls, I'm sure Bonnie, you already know, Phil's told you about Joe, but I'm sorry, other Joe. And Joe, our original yoga teacher from Lakes, is in palliative. So I just want to use this time to just wish her transition well. So maybe we could just every now and then just remember the teachings that she gave us along the way. Just sitting for a moment, just in the silence with the sensations of the body. And begin to deepen your breath. Releasing the exhale. Settling deeper and deeper into the space. Okay, so just make your transition now into constructive rest. Only have something under your head, very low if you prefer something underneath. Otherwise, maybe nothing, or maybe halfway through you might want to get rid of it. So we want to have the neck as aligned as we can. So just taking a moment to snuggle around, to get the back into the mat. Just feeling, now that you're laying, what's going on. Feel the sensations under the feet, under the pelvis, the sensation of prana around the pelvis and the legs. Notice how the back's laying and how that feels against the mat. In the back of the head and the arms. And then just bringing your awareness to your belly. Maybe your hands are on your belly, maybe they're not. Maybe just for today, even bring your hands to your belly. Just begin to feel the breath and the movement that the body makes as you breathe. Taking that breath all the way down into the lower belly. And feeling the movement, that natural forward tilt of the pelvis on the inhale. Even a little bit of an expansion outwards as well. And on the exhale, notice the backward tilt and the hip points come in toward each other a little bit. We don't have to do anything with the pelvis. We don't have to move it. It's just moving naturally with the breath. It's very subtle. So if you can't feel it, that's okay. Just imagine. And can you notice, normally we'll go upwards up into the spine, but just for now, can you notice the subtle movement in the legs as well? So the leg bones down into the feet will move the legs slightly. Even more subtle. And then bring your awareness up along the spine. Feel that gentle movement along the spine. Into the ribs. The chest and the shoulder blades. Into the shoulder joints. Sides of the neck, into the face, the scalp. Down the arms, all the way down to the fingers. And you may notice now, just with all this awareness, that you're starting to move a little freer. Maybe the movement's increased without you even having to do anything. The whole body's moving with the pelvis, with the breath. And now bring your awareness back to your pelvis and start to physically move the pelvis. So forward gently on the inhale as the belly expands and relaxes. And back on the exhale. As the belly moves down toward the spine, the back muscles relax down into the floor. So feeling into that. And of course, now that we've started to physically move the pelvis, those movements increase throughout the body. Back arches on the inhale and flattens on the exhale. And if you've got a blanket under your head, just get rid of the blanket now and bring the hands behind your head. So we're clasping the hands, the fingers, and we're making a little cup for the back of our head. So the lower, the base of the skull, just placing your hands there. The shoulders are open, the chest's open, the elbows are back, just relaxed wherever they get to. And then keep rocking forward on the inhale and back on the exhale. So you may notice a little difference in the upper body, in the shoulders, the neck. And come back to neutral. Let the pelvis settle. Bring the arms out beside you, palms facing up. And notice any subtle little differences. Maybe it's physically, maybe it's energetically, maybe it's the mind focus. And I wanted to do this with you guys because I know how in tune you all are with your body and your energies. So just for me, I'm feeling that prana in my feet. It's like they're really glued to the floor and they're tingling away. The whole body's tingling, but especially down into the feet. My pelvis feels really secure down on the floor, so too do my shoulder blades. Just noticing for you, whatever it is that you're noticing. And then we're going to roll over gently onto our belly. So really carefully rolling onto your side and making your way onto your belly. I'm just going to move my mat a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Not that you'll need to see, I don't think. Okay, so you've all done this before, but laying, I think I'm going to start with the left hand because that's the side of the camera. So my left arm is bent and I'm going to rest my right cheek on my left hand, the back of my left hand. And then my right arm is down beside me, palm facing up. Okay, and then from there, on your inhale, lift your head, your palm, your elbow, draw the shoulder blade in toward the spine, and then lift the right leg. So it's the opposite. And on the exhale, we slowly bring it all down. And then do that again. Head, arm, shoulder blade moves in, right leg lifts up. And we slowly bring it back down. And then once more. The beauty of this is you don't have to do lots of repetitions. Feel the muscles in the back working, and then completely relax. Bring the other arm up first, so the right arm up first to change sides, and then the left arm comes down. And then we're going to do the other side. So my head's going to be turned away from the camera. And then bring, sorry, no it's not, it's toward you. And then bring the head, the arm, the shoulder blade in, and the left leg up. No, I was right the first time. It just felt odd because I wasn't looking at you. Then bring it back down. Relax. And then again, second round. Head, elbow, shoulder, leg. And bring it down. So you'll notice that cross bracing that we often talk about in the back body. Once more, lifting up. And then back down. Bring that right hand down beside you and just rest your head to one side. Let everything relax. And let that settle into the body. And again, gently rolling back onto your back. So moving as gently as you can. Push your hands, use your hands so your back's not using much muscular effort. Back into constructive rest. Just be there for a moment. And then you're going to bring your hands back behind your head. And we'll get the tilt going first. So tilting the pelvis forward and back. And this time on the exhale, when the pelvis tilts back, you're going to lift your head. Do a little bit of a crunch. Not too dramatic though. And on your inhale, you're going to bring it back down. Tilt forward. Elbows go back. Exhale, we tilt back. We lift the head. Bring the elbows in toward one another a little. And then tilt back, tilt the forward, pelt, and the head and the elbows come back. So you really only need to do this 3 times, but just do a couple more just to get the gist of that movement. And make it as soft and relaxed as you can. We're moving with the tilt of the pelvis still, with the breath. And then let it relax, bring the arms down by the sides, palms facing up. Notice how that feels. Where you're feeling it. And then place your right hand only behind your head. We're going to go back into that little crunch, but this time it's a little twist as well. So breathing in, tilting forward. Breathing out, tilting back and lifting the right elbow toward the right knee. Just a little. The foot stays on the floor. And then bring it back. Tilting forward, the arm comes back, the elbow goes down. And then just keep going. Don't forget that tilt, that rocking in the pelvis as we move the upper body. And then bring it back to stillness. Left arm comes up, right arm goes down. Other side, breathe in, tilt forward. Breathe out, tilt back, lift the left elbow. Cross it toward the right knee. And then as we tilt forward, we lay back down. And relax it down. Arm comes down. Just being there for a moment, noticing whatever you're noticing. Such a subtle movement or group of movements. But maybe the effect on the body and the energy body is not so subtle now. So again, start rocking the pelvis, forward and back. Let the rest of the body move with you. And then we're going to do one side and then the other. So like our pelvic clock, except we're just doing the left and right. So as you lift the back of the right hip up, the knee moves forward, away. And we don't want to arch the low back, we want to lengthen the low back. So reaching with the right knee, the right hip comes up, bring it back down. And then the left knee moves forward, the left hip comes up, don't arch the low back, and then bring it down. So just keep going gently from side to side. Noticing neutral when you get there before you change sides. So that's important too. Moving fluidly from right to center to left. And then keep going and then add. We're going to add. So when you get back, we'll get back to the right knee. As the right knee moves forward and the right hip moves up, cinch up the left hip a little. So as in the waist, the outside of the left hip goes toward the rib cage, and then bring it all back. And then the left knee moves forward, the left hip comes up off the floor, and cinch up the right hip toward the rib cage. And then bring it back. So give me a wave or unmute if that doesn't make sense. So these are all little actions that we make when we're walking. Even the little cinch up of the hip. Finishing on the left side, left knee forward, and then bring it back. Realign the pelvis if you need to, and the feet, and just be there. Notice that. Okay, slide the right leg down along the floor. And just let it rest long. Take the left leg down along the floor. Let that rest. And then we're going to come back to the right leg. So we're going to open the knee out and slide the outside of the foot up the mat as the knee bends. I hope that makes sense. Yep. And then lift that knee in so it lifts up. The sole of the foot's now on the floor. And then slowly take it down. It's a bit tricky if you've got a really sticky mat, so just go nice and gently. And then we roll that knee open, the outside of the foot slides back up, almost into tree-ish. Lift the knee up off the floor, we're on the sole of the foot, slide it back down. Do a couple more of those on that side. Try and keep the back nice and relaxed. And press it down. Let them both be really floppy. And then we're going to do the left side. So the knee opens out toward the floor. The outside of the left foot slides up. And then we lift the knee up off the floor. The sole of the foot comes into contact. And then we slide that one back down. 3 more times. Click went my pelvis. Keep everything relaxed. When you're done, just letting the legs relax long first. Let the feet fall open if that's where they want to go. And then come into constructive rest, one leg at a time. Realign the spine. And you might feel like you want to do a few little pelvic tilts now. Just coming back into that nice balanced forward and back motion. Filling up along the spine. And then let it go. Notice what you're noticing. Who has a block and a belt handy? Yep. Okay, cool. Grab a block and your belt. And pop the block this distance, so the middle distance between the knees. And then grab your belt and you're going to make a loop around your legs. So flick it under behind the knees or behind the thighs there somewhere. Oh, gosh, these belts are long, aren't they? Bring it through. Okay. So we want it to be quite firm, quite tight, holding the legs together. So pull it as tight as you can. So that when you take your legs into the belt, that block's not going to fall out. So that's how tight. It has to be quite tight. Okay. How well? Just going to have a look. Give me a thumbs up when you've got it happening. Yep, cool. Feet are on the floor. How are you, Joe? Is that all right? Yep, Janet's good. Joe's all right. Okay. All right. So you've got the block there. You've got the belt nice and tight. So just take a moment to settle first. And then on the inhale, you're going to gently squeeze the block with the knees. So as you know, it's very gentle, about 20% effort. And then you're going to relax it. Inhale, gently squeeze. Exhale, relax. Inhale, gently squeeze. Exhale, relax. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, relax. So it's that soft that you don't really feel like you're doing anything. Because you're so in tune with your muscles, you can feel them working, but there's no real effort there. And now this time we're going to press our legs out into the belt. So on the inhale, we same amount of pressure. Inhale, we press them out or open them out. Exhale, we relax. 4 more times. Nice slow breath. Just relax in center when you're done. Just notice whatever you notice. And I'm going to do both at the same time. So breathe in and press the belt of the legs out into the belt. Breathe out, relax them. Breathe in, squeeze the block. Breathe out, relax them. Breathe out into the belt. Relax with the exhale. Squeeze the block on the inhale. Relax with the exhale. 3 more on your own. Inhale wide. Relax. Inhale, squeeze. Relax. 2 more. Always finishing with the squeeze in. And letting it go. Let everything go. Notice what you notice. And then keeping the block and the belt there, start pelvic tilts again. And then this time, as you breathe in and tilt forward, press out into the belt. Relax it on the exhale as you tilt back. Tilt forward on the inhale, squeeze the block. Relax on the exhale. 4 more times. Out. Relax. In. Relax. That's 1. Out. That's two. Two more on your own. You're done. Just letting that go. Taking a pause. Take the block out. And then just heel toe the feet together. And very gently walk the toes in that you can lift the knees up and slide that belt off. And then take the feet back to the floor, back to constructive rest. Notice what you notice. And then we're going to roll onto our sides. We all feeling okay? So rolling onto your side, I'm going to roll onto the back, onto like away from the camera so you can see it. And you've all done this one before too. So we're going to bring the knees in line with the hips and the feet in line with the knees. The shoulders in line with the hips. You might want a blanket under your head, you might not. And then the shoulders are one on top of the other, directly on top of the other. That's it. And then you're going to bring the right, so I'm on my left side, so the top arm underneath that you're resting on the left ear. If you're using your right arm, the right ear if you're using your left. Flex the feet. And then on the exhale, we're going to lift the head, the shoulder, the armpit toward the hip, and we're going to hoik that right hip up and bring it toward the armpit. And then we're going to lower it down and stretch it away from one another on the exhale. Sorry, on the inhale. Exhale, lift it up, squeezing that right side if you're laying on your back. And then opening it up away from one another on the inhale. We want to get that, target that QL muscle right at the side of the spine. And on the next exhale, when you lift the head and lift the hip, lift the foot, the top foot, but keep the knees together. And then lower that down as we lay the head back down and stretch the top of the body. 2 more times, lifting the foot as well. Knees stay together, it's just lifting the foot and the lower leg. Last one. Lay them down, take the right arm long, reach the right leg long, if you're on your left. Stretching the whole side of the body. And let it relax. Coming back onto your side. Just relaxing on your side. Let that settle in. Roll gently back onto your back into constructive rest. Take a pause there, let that settle in before you change sides. And then when you're ready, the other side. Line yourself up. It's really important to get the body in the right position to target that right muscle in the back. Arm underneath or hand underneath the head. Exhale, lift the head, take the armpit toward the hip, draw the hip toward the armpit. Right, Janet? Yep, that's it. Poke it in. And then lay it back down on the exhale. Lift it up again. Poke the hip up as well. So you want to feel that QL muscle. If you used your hand and poked it, it'd be really hard. So just 3 times, that's all you need to do. Relax it down. And then we're going to add that lower leg. So as you lift, the knees stay together, but the foot lifts. And it comes back down. One more. Give it a stretch out when you're done. Top arm, top leg. Oh. And then just bring yourself back to the start, back to on your side, nice and relaxed, let everything settle in there. Back into constructive rest, nice and easy. Settle there for a moment. And you'll know when it's time to move on because you'll feel your body settling into that position. And then a few little pelvic tilts again. This time lift your knees up and just hang on to the knees with your fingertips. So the fingertips are over the kneecaps. Bring the elbows close into the body and just draw the knees in toward the body. And on the inhale, let the knees come away. You get a little arch, a natural little arch on the low back. And the exhale, we're slowly drawing in. And then when you release it, keep the hands there, but just take the arms long, that the knees are above the hips, and be as relaxed as you possibly can there. On your next inhale, just squeeze or bring your right knee in, just like you were before. And then bring it away. And then the left knee in. And bring it away. Just Keep going like that, alternating. And then just back to neutral, knees above the hips. And bring your hands down to the floor now. Just down beside you. The knees are still above the hips, but nice and relaxed. And then breathe in and reach the right heel up toward the ceiling. So we're not, we're just going to slowly straighten the leg a little. And then bend it. Straightening the left leg a little. It's nice and relaxed. And you may find you're not getting as straight as what you normally would. That's okay. Just nice and easy. Back's relaxed. Belly's relaxed. And just rest them back in neutral, knees above the hips. On your next inhale, take your right foot down to the floor. And relax it there with the exhale. Lift it up with the inhale, back to where it was. Relax it there with the exhale. Change sides. Inhale the right foot to the floor. Relax it down with the exhale. Lift it on the inhale. Relax it on the exhale. Do 4 more on each side. I know it's soft, subtle movements, but I also know you can feel what's going on. Notice the muscles that are contracting and then releasing. And when you're done, I'd like you to just end up back in constructive rest. One leg at a time. Let everything go. Bring your arms out by your sides. So to shoulder height. Yeah. Okay. And we're just going to start with our little ringing out. So take your feet a little wider so that they're, if you're in the middle of the mat, so they're at the outside edge of the mat. Feel the feet beneath the floor beneath your feet. And then just very slowly start to move from side to side. We're not going all the way down. Just the knees are starting to move from side to side. So maybe not even a quarter of the way. That's up to you. The exhale starts to take them over to the side. The inhale lifts them back to center. And feel the roll under your feet. Keep the focus there. And you might not want to take that a little further out to the sides now. Just start to move as much as you're comfortable in the pelvis, but we want to do it slowly. Still focusing on the feet rolling on the floor. So letting the rest of the body move with you. Start to notice also the roll at the back of the pelvis. You may or may not be all the way down to the floor with your knee yet. It's up to you, or in the full range. But as you get closer to that, let the head turn in the opposite direction. And notice now, yes, that roll of the feet and the pelvis, but also the movement, the twist in the belly, the waist, all the way around. Notice that shift in the rib cage. So if your knees are to the left, you'll notice the right rib cage up and twisted, the left down. And then the opposite, obviously, if the legs are to the right. Left rib cage lifts, right moves down. Notice the roll across the shoulder blade area. And into the shoulders. So when your knees move to the right, the back of the left shoulder moves down toward the floor a little, and the right shoulder moves up a little. Keeping going from side to side. And then bring the awareness to the neck and the roll at the back of the head. As your head moves to the right, let your right jaw and cheek be soft. And then we're going to start to add the roll of the arms. So as your knees move to the right and your head moves to the left, Your right palm turns up, your left palm turns down. As the knees move to the left, the head moves to the right, the left palm moves up, your right palm moves down. And then just keep going from side to side, getting a sense of the whole body now as one, moving as one. Not only is our physical body, so the muscles, the bones, shifting around, moving together, get a sense of the organs, belly organs, lungs, the heart. And then know too that as we move and change from side to side, and we're working half of the bodies to the left, half of the bodies to the right, we're shifting and moving the brain from left to right hemisphere. We're working both sides of the brain as well. Because we have to think about what we're doing to get into this little flow, we're creating new neural pathways. And then finishing on the left, just let yourself settle there. Shift to the other side, knees to the right, settle there. And back to constructive rest, just very gently. Work your feet back in, your arms back down. Settle there. And then very gently tilt the pelvis back with the exhale. Press into the floor. Just going to activate this a little more. Pressing into the balls of the big toes, into the heels. Feeling the inner thighs activate, the pelvic floor lift. The front hip points move in toward one another. Back presses down into the floor, the back ribs. And then just let it relax nice and slowly. Notice how that feels. Settle there. And you might want to do that again. So just very slowly activating as you tilt back. Moving into the feet, into the inner thighs, pelvic floor, back ribs. Open the back of the neck and feel the root of the tongue. body breathe. And then slowly relax it. Notice how that feels. And tune into the body and see if you can feel that if the body's craving any other movement before it goes into Savasana. So you're going to come into Savasana with your legs over a bolster, but do you need anything else? And you may not. Your body might be just saying, yeah, I want to lay my legs over a bolster, that would be nice. But you may want to stretch, you may want to hug your knees. Just making any movement that you feel you need to. If you move to your side though, make sure you keep your legs together, that the pelvis doesn't twist. And use your hands to push up if you need to grab your bolster. Nice. I've got a story for you today. I'm going to read you a story. Now, I want to know how you're feeling. Are we all okay? Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to come nice and close because I've got my heater on there. I might put my jumper back on. Oh, boy. Janet's got her heater going. Nice one. You're cold. Oh. Is anybody else really cold? Sorry, I should have warned you. You all right? Okay. So I'll settle you first, and then I'll read you a story, and then we're going to sit up and just be in that space. So, of course, make sure you're warm. Make sure you're aligned, that your body feels nice and aligned and comfortable, evenly laying on the floor. Feel the back body on the floor. Can you let go of any holding? Any more holding? Feel the front body. Can you let go of any more holding there? Feel the whole body. Whole body. Feel the breath in the nostrils. Feel your heartbeat. Feeling the pulsation of the physical body, the blood pumping around the body. The expansion and contraction of the breath. Feeling the sensation of prana. However you interpret that, maybe it's warmth, maybe it's a tingling or a buzz or a lightness. Within the body and surrounding the body. Your energy field. And this little story that I'm reading for you today is called Source Connecting. Experience the power of love that is constant within us. As human beings, we're all looking for happiness. Much of our time is spent looking outside of ourselves for what we think makes us happy. Time after time, we're disappointed because what we thought was the answer wasn't. Eventually, we learn that true everlasting happiness can only come from inside ourselves. Connecting with the source or desiring to have only the peace of your God within as our highest desire brings us closer and closer to what true lasting happiness is. This meditation was created to give you a technique to get in touch with that wonderful power within that can truly bring happiness and peace when desired and applied. May this meditation lead you to knowing who you truly are. Visualize yourself on a round gold platform. On the floor of the platform is a button labeled the source. Push the button. A beautiful ray of light comes on from above, and the platform begins to lift up toward that light. You continue to lift higher and higher, and higher and higher. The light seems to get brighter and brighter, and you feel yourself becoming filled with more and more light, and the energy becomes finer and finer. Call upon the spiritual helpers of the light and visualize them assisting you as you move forth into higher and higher vibrations, moving toward the source of all light. feel your desire to become one with the source, to feel your connection. Allow your desire to lift you still higher and higher. Stop for a moment and allow to come forth into your mind anything in your life that has stopped you from feeling your oneness with the source. It may be someone you need to forgive. It may be feelings of guilt or unworthiness. It may be a fear that you have to leave the pleasures of earth. It may be a combination of things. Just allow them to come forth. Look at them and feel your desire for the source to be greater than holding on to these things. Then feel your desire to let them go and see them leaving you, asking your spiritual friends to help carry them off, to be dissolved into the light. Now feeling freer, feel your desire to connect with the source and feel the platform once again moving upward, going higher and higher, and higher and higher. Feel and see yourself moving into more and more light until you feel yourself absorbed by the light. And allow yourself to just be. To feel the energy in your heart expand. At this point, feel the source breathing you. Feel the oneness of just being. Before you come back, remind yourself of your desire to have this energy be more and more a part of your life. And as you return, bring the energy back with you. Back with you down onto your mat. Being aware of your body laying on the mat. Being aware of the room. The sounds of the room. The temperature of the room. The sound of your breath. The temperature of the body. movement of the body as you breathe. The sensations of your body. The sensations and awareness of that source, that light within you. Invite in a deeper breath. And very gently making your way to a seat when you're ready. And as you do get to your seat and you settle in, just be there in that space and notice. Notice how you're feeling. Be aware of the connection to the source, to your God, whatever that means to you. Feeling the connection to your Sangha. And even to the teachings of yoga. Your teachers. Bringing your hands to your heart. Bowing your head. Namaste.